and just making everything more positive. And that, of course, carried on into this year, not just with hosting, but with Junior Eurovision, showing that on the BBC, on TV for the first time, and showing the semi finals on the main BBC channel again for the first time. I think Liverpool did such a great job of hosting, not just the production of the show in general, but also doing a really good job of presenting the collaboration and the connection between the UK and Ukraine. I thought they did such a good job of that. And just the way Liverpool as a city just carried out this major event, having so many other separate events in Liverpool, making it feel like almost like a festival. You know, there was a lot.
Song that well before Eurovision comes around, it's being played on the radio, it's getting promoted so much, people are loving it, and then after the contest, it's still really popular. You know, Spaceman, to an extent, is like that. I Wrote a Song, maybe not so much. Next year, hopefully the stars will align, and the BBC will do a great job finding somebody and promoting the act as they have been doing with our previous two singers. That would be great. That's all I really ask for. That sort of ties in with the next bit. Expectations for 2024? Well, it's in Malmö, Sweden. They've done it before, same venue as well. We know Sweden do a really good job every time they host it. I haven't got any concerns whatsoever. I imagine there'll be somewhere between 38 and 40 countries taking part. I really don't know, but the more the merrier. And it's going to be a very, very slick show indeed. I know that they want to shorten proceedings. I don't know how they're going to do that really, but I'm interested to see exactly what happens there. And obviously with the voting, there's been a lot of talk about that as well. I'm hoping they actually don't change it, but I have a feeling they will, because those Swedes love to tinker with the contest. As soon as they get their hands on it, they alter stuff. Will the BBC surprise us all with something special like 2022? I don't think so. But I have a lot of faith that the BBC will find a singer and put a lot of faith in the singer in terms of the whole songwriting aspect and what have you. You know, the singer is in control. You know, the BBC aren't finding a song and giving it to one of the singers that they found. You know, I don't like that. But yeah, I am hopeful that the UK will get a result that is better than this year's, but I'm not expecting it to be as good as last year's. But we'll see. Who knows? I just hope that it's a really cracking tune. There are so many good sort of up-and-coming rock bands here in the UK, and that music is popular here. So why not take a little bit of a gamble and go for something that nobody's really expecting? That would be amazing, and I think it would be really appreciated by fans across the continent. And you know, as great as Spaceman was, as great as I Wrote a Song was, now might be the time to really go for something that's a little bit edgier, something that's a little bit more, I suppose, unconventional for the UK Eurovision. I think that could be the way to go. But at this moment in time, I don't have a huge amount of faith in the BBC to do that, but they should be doing that. We just have to wait and see. What a ramble. Hopefully you can use some of what I've said. Take care.
Hey everybody, Shane here from Shane's Eurovision Review. So what do I expect and want from the United Kingdom for Eurovision 2024? I think what the last 2 years have taught me is I think the Sam Ryder experience was a diamond. It was rare and it's going to be very, very difficult to replicate. I think we thought we could replicate that with Mae Muller, but evidently I think we underestimated the uniqueness that was Sam Ryder. I am slightly concerned with Mae Muller's recent experience in regards to her cancelled tour and the fact that her album it didn't make the top 30 this week. As a result of that, it's very difficult for the BBC to attract artists with the Sam Ryder appeal, as in like, look what Eurovision can do for you, because it didn't seem to kind of unfortunately work for Mae Muller, despite the fact that her song went into the top 10 in the UK and despite the fact that most people in the UK knew it. So with that, it's a bit difficult. I don't want a national final. Like, I really don't. I grew up in a kind of era with having that and knowing that the British public are fickle. They can't necessarily be trusted to pick the right one. I would rather the decision be made by music professionals. I kind of have kind of three models. The first model is one that I'd read years ago, is how do you encourage established artists to do Eurovision when it's probably something they don't want to do, and moreover has become, unfortunately in the UK, a bit of a poison chalice. And I remember seeing this one point, or seeing it somewhere, where someone said, you know, if you could link it maybe to a charity, if known artists compete and then the winning prize is like 100,000 euros to their given charity. So even if they don't do well, they can deflect it in regards to PR, saying it was all about the charity and they did great things for charity. That's very unlikely. The other two models I have is, I mean, we try to bring back known artists like Bonnie Tyler, like Blue, with mixed success. There are some kind of artists that have been around for a very long time that are back touring, kind of releasing music, and I think their profile could be elevated through Eurovision. So Beverly Knight, she's a fantastic singer, and I think after Mae Muller, like, I would like, as a British person, to know that whoever's going on that stage can sing live and sing the house down, which Beverly Knight can do. The original line of Sugar Babes, I mean, they're doing kind of a European tour at the moment. They're known, they're established. I could trust them to go on a stage in Eurovision. And do you know what? I'm going to put James Blunt in there. I can see that he's kind of just released a new single for a new album. What a great way to plug that album through Eurovision. I can't see him doing it though. Yeah, I just think if we go for a generic genre, then we could get potentially lost. The Mae Muller experience has shocked me. I'm not going to lie. I genuinely thought we were going to do well. That is the sort of song that you would hear on the UK charts. I've just listened to her album. She is the sort of artist that sounds British and sounds like she would be successful in the UK. And things haven't really worked out for her. So with that said, I really do think either bring an established artist like Beverly Knight, Sugar Babes, James Blunt, where there is something for them all to gain, or go completely off-piste and tap into BBC Asia and do something more kind of Bollywood or Punjabi beats. So that's my hopes for 2024. I don't think it's going to happen, but let's see.
I feel like Sam's result has bought like a 5 or so year window where the public is going to like relax off on saying that the UK has no shot in Eurovision. So that gives a window of opportunity for the UK delegation to attract some more established artists. Yes, I have no expectations for genre or artist or anything like that. What I'm hoping for is that the UK can get another left side of the scoreboard, ideally at least at a minimum top 20. I feel like the more years that go by where the UK is in the bottom 5, the more people will start to think, okay, Sam Ryder's result was a fluke. It was a once-off. It's not going to happen again. So there is this like grace period where I feel like the British delegation needs to seize that opportunity and get another good result. And once that happens, I think each subsequent year gets easier and easier, because the more that they dispel this perception that British artists can't do well, the more people they have to choose from, the better songs they have to choose from. More people are going to start clamoring to represent. Just look at UMK Finland this year. The success of Käärijä coming second and then his success after the contest, you just know that way more people are going to be entering into UMK because they can see, okay, this Eurovision is a great springboard to success. 160 to 200 potential million viewers watching. So yeah, they got to make hay while the sun shines, kind of keep up this momentum. Will the Poised with something special, or are they on for another stint at the bottom of the scoreboard? Yeah, it's going to be really interesting to see the UK delegation. Are they going to be able to do things on their own? Obviously, Tap Music, the record company they were working with the last 2 years, have left. They're on their own now. Are they going to be able to convince someone with a great song to come forward and represent? Yeah, like I said, their job is just way easier now that they have objective proof that success is possible. I really hope that the UK is not in the bottom five of the scoreboard. I think it's better for the contest when they do well. It's better for the contest when all of the big five do well. It dispels some of the unpleasant feelings that a minority of fans have towards the big five's automatic qualification. When they send a really great song, I think it's much easier to justify why the big five are there. They're necessary to fund the competition.